Hello, my loves. How are you? So I just sat down with the intention to bring through the most beneficial messages for you at this time. And I heard we're going to do a masculine and feminine check-in with the shared heart space check-in. And a card just flew out of the deck I intended to use for the feminines. So we're going to start there. Okay. And it fell in the sideways position on the floor. The seven of wands in the sideways position. So for me, this is speaking about the feminine collective being in this space of in between. And it's just funny because one of my most recent videos was about the divine feminines uh, experiencing spiritual pregnancies and that phenomenon. And the energy in this is sort of reiterating that for me. I'll drop that in the comment for you guys. But it feels like this is the space where the pregnancies, some of those energies, those creations may not be just quite ready, and that the feminines are in a form of a gestation period in the sideways position. But I'm also feeling like the way that that flew out and where it positioned itself on the floor, it feels like maybe the recent past to the current sort of moment energies that we're moving, um, experiencing and moving from. So I feel guided to immediately pick some more with this, like what's going on with the feminines, what's shifting for the feminines. And it feels like sort of going from this very protected mode and what came through. Wow, okay. The star card and the ace of cups fell out. So it feels like where the feminines may have felt in a limbo phase with her creations and sharing her creations onto the planet and also receiving. This feels to me receiving from the higher power, receiving from the collective and the masculine collective. To me, what's coming through, wow, the feminines are going to start receiving the recognition that she's been deserving. There's something shifting as the feminines are holding their own power, honoring themselves, holding their own, holding their boundaries, loving themselves, and doing it in a very loving and kind way, yet very powerful and gracious. This feels to me that the feminines and the feminine collective are going to be receiving the recognition. Wow, that was an unexpected message, to be completely honest with you. Okay, so it's like receiving what they've been dreaming of, what they've been wishing for, what they've been working on, because it's not that they've only been wishing for it and dreaming about it. They have been working on pulling it in and birthing it into the new earth. And it may start out sort of small, where the feminines are just being recognized for their participation and their ability to bring this forth in the world. But there is like a protected portion that will be receiving the recognition, the support, the love. And what I'm sensing is many of you are in this space where you're not even requiring or needing that external validation any longer. You are holding that love for yourself, which is a big part of what's drawing it in. And it's coming through that it's important to allow yourself to receive the recognition, the love, the acknowledgement loves for you, but for the future generations and for Mother Earth as we reestablish the honoring of the sacred feminine on this sacred planet of Earth. As I've spoke about before, in alignment with the sacred masculine collective, as we come into a coherence and a harmonious energy where we're honoring one another and working together. All right. So this feels like this shift from where the feminines felt pretty out in the cold or alone in her journey to bolster herself, coming into her inner union and self love, exactly where she was meant to be. okay, in her own power, allowing her to step into her next levels of leadership as a sacred feminine, okay? And it's so beautiful because as you move into that sacred feminine essence, it's so much about, yes, standing in your power, sharing your sacred gifts, but also a big part of it is allowing yourself to receive all that you've been preparing to receive and working for. Such an important part. Okay. What else do we got? I feel like one more message wants to come through with this. Wow. Okay. It got, you saw how the cards got shaky. That was happening last week with the masculines, almost like it couldn't quite fit. But then the Fool card, oh, I didn't even know there was two. So we have the Fool card and the Ace of Wands, to me, signifying new beginnings, new trust fall with yourself, with the universe, trusting yourself that you're strong enough and that you're in your power enough to keep following your dreams, keep following your intuition, keep following your heart, keep allowing yourself to dream bigger and bigger. You're dreaming your dream into reality by allowing yourself to believe that it's possible, my loves. Okay. And this is important because your belief in it, your belief in the solutions, your belief in the restoration of the sacred masculine and feminine essences, your belief in yourself, your belief in your masculine, your belief in this planet, and your belief in why you are here is powerful and it's potent. And as you believe in yourself during a time where no one else may be able to see you or believe in you, it's powerful, loves. And that was there for a reason, and you were put into that position for a reason. And maybe they didn't see you or know what you were doing or sense you or understand you because they weren't meant to yet. It was your sole purpose, your own purpose, to hold these energies, to show how we can step into these energies and essences as sovereign beings living on this earth and being present as humans, living from our heart and soul, trusting ourselves, trusting our intuition, trusting our co creative abilities and our direct connection to Source and Mother Earth in whatever way this resonates for you. It's within your process of being yourself that you become the beacon of the new energy. It's where you become the leader, not by forcing or calling those to follow you, but by being the leader of your own life, of your own essence, of your own conscious creatorship. Gorgeous. Love it. Okay. Let's see what the feminines or the masculines want to share. Sorry. Oh, all right. What do the masculines want to share? Okay. It felt like they were connected to that new beginning, and that's why it flipped like that. And then I got the Three of Swords, which to me is speaking about how the masculines are going through some of those darker nights of the soul purgings. The masculines that may be connected to the feminine collective that's moving into her power. It's igniting and supporting the masculines with going into purging their limitations, where they have felt shame or blame or guilt or projection, or where they've held themselves back from receiving everything they deserve, as the feminines are allowing themselves to receive their accolades and support and leadership and power. It is supporting and pushing the masculines into purging so that they are able to see a new perspective of themselves, so that they can learn to deeply love in themselves, show up for themselves, and to step into their purpose and power and potential on this planet and their true energy and essence. Okay. And it feels like having this awareness that as the feminines are in this loving, surrendered, powerful energy, even though she's surrendered to the higher power and the connection, she's strong enough to be comfortable enough and stable enough to build her new creations, which is what is supporting the next levels of the collective process. And so when I say the feminines are, like holding space for the masculines to go, it's because the masculines held space for the feminines to go through her process. This isn't who's better or not. This is exactly as things were intended. And it's like passing the baton. So the masculines are free now to step up into their levels. As the feminines have freed themselves, it frees the masculines from their old roles so they can move into their sovereignty. Okay, what else would the masculines like to share? Wow. Okay, loves, look at the masculines are also, as they move through this purging process and looking at the new perspectives or the perspectives with the new way of seeing things, it helps them to be ready to pull in the power in the dream as well. But what's actually coming through is as the feminines pull it in, the masculines are helping to ground it. As they receive the information and the codes from the feminine telepathic connection, they're then able to flip it, see the perspective as it pertains to them, and sort of ground it into the new. It's bringing me into this as well. Like they're both trust falling and diving into the new energies. They're both working on bringing the dream together. They are working in different portions. But this is important because many of you may even notice this, even if it's not your sacred feminine or sacred masculine, you may notice when you're going through a more intense purging process that maybe some of your friends aren't, and they can hold space for you and with you. And then when you're sort of through your purge process, now they're going through theirs and you're able to hold space for them. It's like the rungs of the ladder where we each take our turn and we allow ourselves to receive support and allow ourselves to give support. This is part of holding that sacred space. Very beautiful. Okay, now I'm being called to bring in a message from the shared heart space, one from the masculine from the sacred shaman deck, and one from the priestess of light deck for the feminines is what I'm being called to do. Let's see where we're at in the shared heart space. Okay. Wow. Okay. So we got one for the masculine and two for the feminines, which is very beautiful. So from the masculines, we have mindful groupthink. And to me, it immediately came through to me that as the masculines go through their purging process, it will allow them to hold a much bigger container for themselves, which will ultimately allow them to really start to home in on and create and build new ways of being and doing in our world in a group and community fashion is what's coming through. That as they learn these new ways of being for themselves, because they're embodying them, they're going to have these brilliant ideas to support our bigger communities. And this is bringing me back to a video I did a few, like last week. It might have been on my Patreon. I can't remember. I apologize. But where I saw this vision of as the masculines go through their next levels of awakening to who they truly are and their true power, they're sort of bringing the collective with them on their back. Like they've been carrying a lot and they're going through this process for themselves and for the collective, a much bigger portion of the collective. And so they're also learning and strengthening into their visions of what they want to create for our communities and for our planet as stable, sacred masculines as they move through their process, just like the feminines have been experiencing. It's sort of a dance of learning the new ways for yourself and also then envisioning how you're going to support others and allowing it to come together in a very beautiful way, a very natural, highly higher guidance energy is what's coming through. Sorry, there was like two messages coming in at the same time. And then the feminines, so beautiful, two cards came out, and one was divine feminine, magnetic receptive power, and the bright heart light open connections. So we talked about the heart space. And as both counterparts are opening deeper to their true feminine and receptive energies, right? The masculines are allowing themselves to receive the support from the higher energies. They're allowing themselves to receive their own power, their own intuition, their own higher abilities, and it's helping them feel more deeply connected to the sacred feminine collective as they allow their own internal inner union energies to strengthen. And so the shared space right now is that the collectives are deepening into their ability to receive. And what's coming through is as the feminines are receptive to love, to support, to receiving what they're needing to build, as she's moving into a deeper open heart and she feels comfortable, confident, and healthy in her energetic boundaries, it allows her to be stronger in her heart connection and also in her receptivity. And this is opening this same ability to receive and be receptive within the masculine essences. Very, very beautiful. So you are probably feeling this within your own energies, as so many of the feminines have come into their more internal union energies. It's supporting the same energies to open within the masculines from the other direction. All right, loves. I do feel like I want to pick one more. Want to pick one more from the True Love deck because this energy just feels so beautiful with so much intensity that we've been experiencing. It's nice to sort of feel and sense the fruits of the labor and the results of the work and the effort that you've put in so that you're open to being able to receive those results. Oh, wow. Okay, loves, connection. And I just said open connection. So to me, this really, really, really feels like the counterparts, the collectives, the masculine and feminine collectives are really, really opening internally and externally to new connections. As you open to new aligned connections within yourself and for yourself, and you allow yourself to receive those, it supports you in aligning with the people, places, and things and connections that are meant for you. And so, what's coming through is that as the collectives, simultaneously masculine and feminine, are opening up to these true connections and to the connections that are in alignment for them and supportive for them, as they're opening up to those, they're coming more quickly into the physical world potential fruition. So I'm feeling guided to share, like, open yourself up to receive this, and that there may be some connections coming forward in the physical world very soon. This is what the energy feels like to me as I share this. All right, loves. Wow, that was so beautiful. What a beautiful way to end the reading, opening up to connections, allowing yourself to receive all of those gifts and dreams and resources that you've been working for, allowing yourself to do it in a way where you're just knowing and understanding that you've put in the work and that you are ready to sustain and maintain these energies. All right, loves. So, so gorgeous. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you really soon. Love you. Of course, you know I'd like to hear from you in the comments. Let me know how you're doing.